TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Neff.
I'm Edward Lewis.
Wow, Edward. I feel like we've been doing this together all week.
I like it.
Thank you for filling in.
Yeah.
Edward is the top dog over at our sports department. We have a lot of topics we got to go over today, starting with Lil Wayne. He's breaking his silence on the Super Bowl snub. Then we'll get into Justin Timberlake. He arrived in court. Tons of paparazzi and fans were outside of the courthouse where he accepted a plea deal. John Legend is urging Springfield locals to embrace Haitian immigrants. He's from Springfield, but this did not go over well with the locals. And lastly, Britney Spears will continue to pay child support after her youngest son, Jayden's 18th birthday. All right, starting off with Lil Wayne. As you guys know, it was announced this week that Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the Super Bowl next year, which is set in New Orleans. A lot of fans online were very upset with this, saying that Lil Wayne is clearly the king of New Orleans, that it should have been him, not Kendrick. Well, Lil Wayne is breaking his silence, and here's what he had to say.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But I thought that was nothing, I thought that was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city.
Wow, I feel so bad. You can tell he's like emotional about this. Like, I don't think I've seen this kind of side of Lil Wayne before.
Is it Lil Wayne or Lil Wayne?
Well, little.
Okay. Yeah, no,
I have an accent.
This feels like such an overreaction by Wayne.
What?
Like,
he said in the past he wanted to do the Super Bowl.
But also,
and then he got slighted.
I'm conflicted here, right?
Okay.
Number one, I don't really understand the NFL's allegiance to Kendrick Lamar in this situation, right? Like, Kendrick has a very big song, but for the most part, and he's a very, very talented artist. But
he's already been in the Super Bowl.
And but that's what I'm saying. He's already been in the Super Bowl, and for the most part, he's not like super widely known like previous Super Bowl halftime performers are, right? Like, I'm talking like Shakira, J-Lo. I don't put Kendrick in that kind of pantheon where like.
But he had the song of the year, undoubtedly.
Sort of Sabrina Carpenter. You ready to put her in the Super Bowl? It just feels weird that they are like leapfrogging Wayne for this role. There was actually a photographer that got Roger Goodell out in New York City this week. We posted that story on TMZSports.com, and he kind of defended it. He said he loves Kendrick, but. That all being said, if I'm Wayne, it's also like, why do you necessarily care this much? I understand that it's your.
You don't think he should care?
I mean, to this extent, no. Like, what difference does it make? And you don't get paid for it, right? Like the Super Bowl's.
But it's not about that. It's about being recognized for your body of work. I mean, it's like if we were nominated for an Emmy Award.
Right.
You would be like, and then we didn't get it. You wouldn't be like, dang, that sucks. We worked so hard this year. Or from everything you've done.
The other aspect of it, too, though, was the Super Bowl was like almost consistently in New Orleans as well. So it's been a little different now with all the new stadiums being built. They all get guaranteed a Super Bowl if they get it. But then New Orleans will have its chance in the next few years again for him to do it if it's really that big of a deal. This whole thing just feels totally weird to me. Like
so you don't understand why Kendrick was picked, but in the same vein, you don't understand why Lil Wayne's
Wayne's like flipping out over it.
Yeah.
Correct. But I do. I think the bigger issue here to me is the NFL's insistence on Kendrick Lamar. Like I just don't.
Well, obviously, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, they jumped on board with the Super Bowl like years ago. Jay-Z now kind of is a person like picking the artists that are performing.
Does he not have a good relationship with Wayne? This whole story has been so baffling to me. And
that is very strange. It's strange that they didn't even ask Wayne, because you can see that clear from his video. They didn't even come to him. But like I said, they're clearly picking based off of how successful Kendrick's career was this year. And look, it's not the Super Bowl, wherever it is, doesn't necessarily mean you got to go with a person or an artist that's from that area.
Because I can't remember anybody. Oh, I guess L.A. was, all the hip hop was
right. But then you had Eminem performing here too,
Detroit,
which obviously he's connected to Dr. Dre, but he's technically Detroit. But Kendrick did perform alongside, all them in LA here. So you would think like, oh, he's already done it. It should be. I mean, I love Kendrick. I think he has great songs. He obviously had a huge year, but it 100% should have been.
And Wayne has the discography for it, right? Like he's got
absolutely.
Like he has hit after hit
and
after
another
hit.
thing, it doesn't have to be like he just had a hit. He's relevant.
Right.
They've had artists in the past.
Shakira was on, and she didn't have a song.
Rihanna hadn't had a song for a long
years,
time either, and we were all fine with it.
Timberlake didn't when he did his.
It's more about recognition for all your body of work over the years, and Wayne for sure has that.
And long story short, like Wayne should be proud of his work and understand that there's more Super Bowls in coming forward, and also like if he's really that good, he could perform like you said at any other Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Well, this is a hot take. I think now that Lil Wayne released the statement, Kendrick should come out and say, I can't be behind this anymore. I have to pass the baton to Lil Wayne. He should, in my opinion, give up the spot and let Lil Wayne take it.
Because Kendrick couldn't always do it next year. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
He's not going anywhere. Like,
totally. And it means so much to Lil Wayne now that we know that. And now that Kendrick knows that, I think Kendrick, he seems like a pretty cool guy. I feel like he would be open to being like, oh, man, we can't do this.
I don't think the fans are going to go crazy over it. It's not like when Rihanna was announced, everyone's like, I have to watch this. Is there anybody really pounding the table like, I have to see Kendrick at a Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm sure. Do you remember he performed here? He sang Not Like Us 5 times in a row. And everyone was going nuts every single time. Like, he's for sure, like, very popular.
I don't know. I think everybody would accept this if he were to do that. I don't see it happening, obviously, because the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and once they make a decision, they make a decision. But
we'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on to Justin Timberlake. He arrived in court today to accept a plea deal. Remember, we told you guys that he's not going to be having a DUI anymore. It's now driving while impaired. He arrived for
ability impaired.
Ability impaired. Photographers were shouting and asking if he had a message for fans. He didn't say anything. He looked great, though. And his legal team arrived before him, showing support. There was like a protester with a photo of a young boy, possibly a victim of a drunk driving accident that was there. Definitely a chaotic situation. But as we said, Justin's driver's license is suspended in New York due to refusing a breathalyzer test in June. But yeah, a judge accepted a plea deal of 25 hours of community service within a year, a fine up to $500, and a 90-day suspension of his New York State license. And Justin apparently in court did express regret and was reflecting on his actions and standards.
First, let's get into what he was wearing.
He looks handsome.
In a cardigan and baggy jeans
it's
at a court appearance where, by the way, he fleeced the system. I mean, like, let's be honest here. And to show up in these, like, rose-colored glasses, a cardigan, and some baggy, and it was sneakers.
Yeah.
It looked like Chuck Taylor's. Like, it was such an F you to everybody.
Like, kind of like
I would expect a suit
collar.
jacket, a white shirt that was slightly unbuttoned, and suit pants and suit shoes. You know what I mean? Dress shoes.
He still looked professional.
Not at all. He looked like he was going to get beers with his buddies at a high-end sports bar. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, like, I don't want to be too flippant about it because it is, but it does feel like he got off this, like, as well as any human being has ever gotten off a drunk driving case or an alleged drunk driving case. Like, he admitted to drinking before getting behind the wheel. And
well, because he only had one martini, which still, I think, if you have any kind of drink,
martinis are strong, dude. You know, especially if you don't eat a lot. I don't think he's that big of a guy. I know he's like 180 pounds. Like,
kind of small.
One martini gets me a little buzzy. Like, I don't know if it's going to be 0.08.
Buzzy Ed over here. Okay.
No, this whole thing feels very flippant to me. I feel like it should have been prosecuted a little further. I know that, you know, there are more crimes that need to be prosecuted, but we just talked about this. I did a story this morning, and we've talked about this on the podcast. An NHL superstar was mowed down by a drunk driver on a bicycle. You know what I mean? Just because you didn't kill anybody that night doesn't mean that, well, you don't have to face consequences. You know, like you got behind the wheel after drinking. Now, your impairment, who's to say it was because there's no breathalyzer, but cops accused you of being so impaired that you couldn't drive anymore. And to have this all go down where, you know, he's showing up in a cardigan and smiling, and the punishment is not even a trial. There's the prosecutors didn't even have. He only showed up to court once, maybe twice. Like, and now it's just I don't know. It feels feels a little icky to me.
And it's not like he didn't have access to Uber or anything like that. Like, he's Justin Timberlake. Where's his driver?
Personally, I would have liked to have seen this. At least I don't mind the resolution of the deal, but I would like to have seen there would be a bit more pushback from the prosecutors as opposed to just 3, 4, 5 weeks. I cover a lot of court cases, in my role at TMZ Sports, and to have this be resolved in just a matter of weeks feels a little bit much. Like it feels like there was a little bit.
Well, here's the thing. We did originally, when the arrest happened, we reached out to get the body cam footage. Because that's going to show a lot, right?
It should, too. And it should be available, no?
And we were told it will be available when all
at the resolution of the case, yes.
Exactly. And so now we're there.
Yeah.
So once this body cam footage comes out, he is not necessarily forgiven in the court of public opinion. So the body cam footage could show a different side to this case, or maybe it could kind of erase what people originally thought that it was drunk.
Yeah, it's a great point. It could change my opinion if he's up there just like, dude, what are you guys doing? Like,
totally.
Okay,
if he's like totally normal or whatever. Like, even sometimes I see some of these tests that they do for like drunk driving where they're like, oh, count backwards or say the alphabet backwards. I'm like, I couldn't even do that sober. So sometimes it's like, okay, that's a little unfair.
That is a great point. And I'm sure once that body cam comes out, my tune would be a little bit different. But right now, according to all the documents and the police and the prosecutors.
And the mugshot, the glassy eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it appears that there was some level of impairment that was beyond, one sip of a drink.
Right. All right, moving on to John Legend. He's originally from Springfield, Ohio. He is now in the mix. Remember, Donald Trump had said those claims during the debate that the Haitian immigrants are eating cats and dogs, and it's a horrible situation. Well, now John Legend is urging the city of Springfield to embrace Haitian immigrants, and here's what he had to say.
These people came to Springfield because there were jobs for them, and they were willing to work. And they wanted to live the American dream, just like your German ancestors, your Irish ancestors, your Italian ancestors.
So this is not going over well at all with the locals. If you check John's comments, he is getting blasted by the community. And there was even a recent city hall meeting where they revealed that violence is up 142% from 2019 to 2022, basically saying it's a result of the Haitian immigrants coming into town. There was an influx of 20,000 Haitian immigrants into the town of only 58,000 originally. And apparently it's just been a huge problem. There's also been a lot of car accidents. I guess that's been a thing due to the Haitian immigrants coming in. And I guess a majority of them or some of them, whatever, also don't have insurance for these car accidents. So it's kind of been an issue. People are also blasting John Legend here. He's telling people like, oh, embrace them from his posh LA mansion. So a lot of people too are like, oh no, just because you're from here doesn't mean you know what's going on right this second.
Yeah, that's kind of my read on the situation as well. We are obviously very uneducated on what Springfield, Ohio is. We live in Los Angeles. Yeah,
I've never been
Santa
to
Monica.
Ohio.
And so I'm not sure, but from the sounds of what the witnesses and the locals are saying, this is not a great situation. And for John Legend to weigh in on it from the middle of Beverly Hills,
right,
15-story mansion, and sitting on his pile of cash.
It's tone deaf.
Yeah, you might want to sit this one out, or at the very least, go to Springfield and feel it. You know what I mean? Live there,
with the locals,
tour around.
Community.
Maybe then you stand in front of a podium there and be like, "Look, I've been here. Let's do this." But yeah, to sit there and be like, "I lived there once. It was fine." You know, it feels like a little out of touch. I think he should probably sat this one out. And if he wants to sit in it, well, go sit in it. You know what I mean? Go to the city and live it and feel it, and then you have the authority to speak, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't think.
I don't think it's resolving anytime soon either.
I would have stayed out of this one if I were him.
Moving on to almost news. So yesterday was Britney Spears' youngest son, his birthday of Jayden. It was his 18th birthday. Presumably, that would be the last day that Britney pays child support payments to Kevin Federline. There was even countdowns. I don't know if you saw this, Edward. There was countdowns on Britney fan accounts saying 30 more days until Britney's last payment to Kevin.
Okay.
29 more days. Like literally counting down until yesterday. there was all these stories too on outlets saying Britney's relieved that today is the last day. Well, guess what? We blew the lid off of this case. She is still going to continue to pay child support payments. And the reason is because the deal that she had struck with Kevin was basically that she will stop paying child support payments when either the son turns 18 or when he graduates high school, whatever comes last.
Sure.
He has not graduated yet. We're told he's going to be having an early graduation in November. So that's when the payments will stop. So she still has 2 more payments to make. Oh, by the way, $20K a month.
She's Britney Spears.
That's a lot of money.
She's Britney Spears.
I know, but what on earth can you spend for $20K a month as an 18-year-old?
Well, and now this goes directly to his pocket, correct?
This goes to Kevin. This goes to Kevin. Look, it's technically meant court-ordered for the kids, but is Kevin using it on himself? Can he? Is that ethical? Is Britney okay with it? We don't know, but he is getting a check of $20K a month.
Either way,
for the last child.
It's only 60 more days. I think everybody here can manage for another 2 more months, and
a lot of money if you do the math, Edward.
It's $40,000 for. Well, she's got to be close to a billionaire, right? At this point, Britney?
Is she? I mean,
who knows what she's done with her money? But over her lifetime,
she hasn't really done stuff for a long time.
I'm sure she's made up close to $1 billion in earnings.
She did have that. Universal picked up the biopic,
right, and
the book as a biopic.
And I mean, people talk about like Instagram posts and making money off that kind of stuff.
She doesn't do,
but like if she wanted to, you know,
she could.
I mean, I'm not gonna be crying a tear for Britney Spears today.
By the way, one little happy part about this. So if you guys remember, Britney's relationship with her 2 sons was kind of icy. We had been told that they were kind of embarrassed by some of Britney's posts. You know, she posts a lot of like boob photos and like risky photos, and they were kind of embarrassed by that. And they've been living with their dad. Kevin's been the full-time parent. They've been living in Hawaii. Britney obviously lives here, and we have been told for the longest time they were not speaking. She was not speaking with her kids. But now we're told they're occasionally speaking on the phone. Right. Before it was like a text here and there, but now they're actually speaking to each other. So, I mean, one would hope that maybe she'll reconcile with her children and actually get to see them in person. She goes to Hawaii all the time. Usually it's Maui, and they live, I believe, on Honolulu or in Oahu. Yeah. But yeah, you just want to see the family coming together. Maybe not Kevin, but her and her kids. No thoughts, Edward?
I hope.
Oh, Edward. Oh, you're crying. Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry, I thought you were just being quiet over there, but you're tearing up a little bit.
I'm sorry. Yeah, this really got me emotional.
The Pisces heart.
I know, that's my fault. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to today in history, things that happened on this day in the past. Well, first of all, today is National Bald is Beautiful Day.
Man, I've been fighting my hair so much.
Wait, you have good hair, Edward.
No, but I mean, it's like growing out, and I'm in that phase where like, should I keep letting it grow out or should I cut it? And...
Don't cut it.
Yeah.
Because then you don't know if it'll ever grow back again.
Jesus.
Well,
okay.
I feel bad. My husband, he is bald. And he did start balding in like high school, poor guy.
There's
but
nothing wrong with balding,
he
though.
embraces it. He has his collection of hats. He
sexy.
looks fine with the hats.
Yeah.
This day in 1990, Law & Order debuted, and it became one of the longest-running primetime TV dramas in the U.S. I love Law & Order.
I've never had a girlfriend that has not been obsessed with SVU.
Oh, it's so good.
SVU.
It's so good.
It's like every girl's like...
And I feel like when you're at a hotel, like in like a mysterious place, you like turn on the TV, and it's playing... Where it's like,
it's just one of those that's always on.
Like you always see it on TV wherever you are.
My brother says that about TMZ.
Does he? Oh, yeah.
When he's at the gym and stuff.
Yeah, at the gym.
At the nail salons.
Or on the plane, too. They have it sometimes.
He's like, dude, you're everywhere.
I always get like photos from friends. They're like, oh, at the gym. Seeing you. Like my friend texted me a photo. She's like, by the way, Fabio is next to me. He's watching you right now. I'm like, oh, hey, Fabio.
Great. Amazing.
This day in 1996, Tupac Shakur died. R.I.P. Remember, he passed away he was shot in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Crazy story.
By the way, you can actually see exactly the streets where his car was in Vegas, and you can go there and see. I don't think there's anything there.
Like Flamingo and something. Yeah, I've driven.
Yeah, it's kind of near the Flamingo.
Right next to the strip. Yeah.
They should put, I don't think they have it, but they should put some kind of plaque or something there. This day in 2004. Oprah gave away nearly 276 new cars to her audience on her show, and she allegedly paid for the taxes as well.
That was you get a car.
Yes, you get a car. Oh my gosh. For Christmas, if Harvey came in here and said, you guys are all getting cars, I'd be like, woo!
I'd rather have the money for the car than just spend it on someone else.
Well, then you just sell it, right?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. I wouldn't want to.
You just want the money.
Yeah.
You get $20,000.
Sometimes for Christmas, we'll get like, a bonus, but then we'll also get something else like a record player, like a backpack.
Yeah, we'll take the car.
I'll take the car. Some birthdays today: Tyler Perry, Lily Reinhart, Fiona Apple, name we haven't heard in a while, Ben Savage, Niall Horan, and then Milton Snavely Hershey. Can you guess who he is?
The guy that created chocolate.
Absolutely. He was born on this day and gave us the iconic Hershey bars. Do you like chocolate, Ed?
With nuts in it, like almonds.
That is.
Yeah.
Why'd you say it like that with nuts? Like, why did you say it like that?
I don't know. I just plain chocolate doesn't do it for me, but if it has something in it, peanut butter, nuts, something in it, I'm in.
But the nuts like get stuck in your teeth.
It's okay.
You like that?
You had something stuck in your teeth before you came.
I know. I
you
had external. I got it out.
It was worth it though, right?
Very freeing, very satisfying. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday.